What's going on, guys? Black Scout, and today I'm just doing a little ruck in the woods. The weather's nice, and I thought I'd get out here and enjoy nature for the day since the weather's nice. But I wanted to make a video. I brought my camera with me because I get this question a lot about how to use a button compass, because a lot of people don't know. They'll say, do I just go north? And well, no, you don't just go north. Obviously if you want to go north, you go north, but a lot of people think they just follow the arrow, which that isn't always the case. So I'm going to break down how to use one because of our new button compass we sell, the new Field Wrist Compass in titanium. I thought it'd be a good video to actually talk about using it. Years ago, I was working for a television show, and we were kind of scouting an area up in the White Mountains, and we were like walking around, and we got pretty deep, in the wilderness there, and one of the producers was like, oh my gosh, I think we're lost. I don't know where we are. And I was like, well, I know where we are. And he's like, well, how do you know, because I'm not using a GPS or anything. And I was like, because I always wear a clip watch compass, And I was like, because I paid attention what direction we went in off the trail. And he said, well, how'd you do that? And I showed him my little button compass, whatever. And he was like, oh my gosh, thank God, because I didn't know where we are. I'd be lost, So something like that is very simple. So like if you're on a trail, you kind of venture off in the trail, you kind of just look at the direction you're going, and then all you have to do is go 180 degrees from that. So just if you're going east, just go west. I think it's pretty simple, common sense thing, but it's probably not for a lot of people that know nothing about navigation. And this video is more for people that know absolutely nothing about navigation, because we have a lot of guys that aren't into survival or essentially outdoor stuff, or they're not outdoorsmen that watch the channel. So I thought we would, give that kind of information to kind of help those folks out, right? If you're an experienced navigator, obviously this is basic for you, and you're probably not going to get anything from it. But anyhow, for people that don't have any kind of clue of what they're doing, this will help. All right, guys, so when we're looking at a button compass here, we see we have cardinal directions and we have sub-cardinals, okay? So generally speaking, we want to make sure it's flat, so you see the compass is moving, because if you have it angled a certain way, it's not going to, pick up correctly, right? And this is for gross navigation. Like, I would always carry a compass. I've got a compass in my pack that I've got, and GPS and all that kind of stuff, but you always want to carry backup. Always recommend a button compass, because if your main source of navigation fails, you got a backup, right? And this is something easy I can quickly look at. A lot of times I don't have to break out my big compass, because I can just use this to navigate, right? So what I would do is if I only had this to navigate, I would choose a cardinal direction. So what I would do is let's say I'm wanting to go east, right? So I'm going to line up with east, and then I'm going to face that into out there in the wilderness, and I'm going to face that east and find something that's I can recognize out there in the wilderness. Now, you see all these trees, they all look the same. I'm going to figure out one that looks different than the rest, so I can navigate to that point. And that way I can keep also my pace count, so I can count my paces as I go. And that way I can essentially navigate pretty well with the button compass. So I can, point at that tree that's kind of fallen out there, so I know it looks different than everything else in the landscape, and point my compass if I want to go east, and then I go that direction and count my paces and go there. That would be a simple method of doing that, right? Let's say I'm just completely lost and I have no idea where I'm going. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to select a direction and then use that same technique. The reason why I'm going to do that is so I don't walk in a circle. A lot of times people, depending on if you're right or left-handed, you'll walk in that direction. You're heavy-footed on your dominant hand, so you'll essentially walk in a circle over time. So even if I was just walking in a direction, I would kind of line up and then line up at something out in the distance and then walk in that direction. Yeah, so let's say we're going to break trail. We're going to go off trail for a second, and maybe we see a waterfall or something off in the landscape. We want to go investigate something, and let's say we're going southeast, right? We see something off in the distance southeast. We're going to go that direction. We know we're heading southeast. Make sure you momentarily glance at your compass, make sure you're heading in that correct bearing. And then all we have to do is to return to the same area, is just go back 180 degrees. So we'll go northwest and return in the same, 180 degrees. So basically backtrack from the bearing we were headed on, right? This is just a simple technique, but a lot of people do not know that. So that's something simple, you know, just something you can glance, make sure you're not getting lost, you know, and you can return back to, like, let's say your vehicle or something, you stop on the side of the road, you see something off in the distance and you want to go check it out. That's how you can do that. You know, if you want to go look at your deer stand or something like that, you know how to get back, right? All right, guys, so in my pack, obviously I got a big compass, I've got a map, I've got my inReach Garmin in case I have to signal for rescue or send a message to someone if I get hurt. Let's say I get bit by a venomous snake, or I get lost, which I shouldn't because I have navigation tools, or let's say I get an injury of some sort. That way I can, you know, signal for help. But let's kind of use this, let's show how to use a button compass with a map really quickly. All right, so in here I have a map. Like I said, I have my Garmin inReach. I've got a map. I've got a spare compass. So what I want to do with a map is I'll take the back of the compass where it attached to the band, I'll put that on the grid line, right? And so now what I want to do, and I'll make sure that's not anywhere near metal, but now I'm going to rotate the map, right? Make sure the compass disc spins freely. And now I'm going to move those cardinal directions. The north is now aligned with the north on the map. So let's say I want to move from here to this way. This is a southeast direction. I know that if I'm here, now I just need to follow a southeast on my button compass in that direction. So I would do the same thing where I would, you know, pick out something fixed in the distance, navigate to it, counting my pace count. I can use the pace count based off the measurement on this map, and I can essentially navigate using gross navigation of the button compass with the map. This video was sponsored by our good friends at Chimbutu. I spoke about the company a few weeks ago in the EDC video. He makes bracelets. He makes a military version that we talked about, given to military veterans and families and things like that. This is a new bracelet that came out, the gemstone bracelet. This is a moss color, which I really dig because it looks very military-like. He also has a black, tiger eye, a lot of other colors, blue and white, those sort of things. These bracelets are very, very tough. This is one of his original bracelets here in olive drab. He also has the cobra weaves, which I think are so cool. You probably see all the time in different videos and things. This is olive drab and black. This is a tan and brown, like a desert version. All of them come with the Power Pose charms. Very cool bracelet. I love what the company stands for, and I do appreciate Chimbutu supporting the channel and sponsoring today's video. Make sure you give them a thanks and definitely support them if you're looking for some bracelets. They look very good with the Black Scout button compass there. Anyhow, guys, I'm gonna get back to rucking. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you took something away, learned something from it. Button compasses are a great tool, great backup to have. I would definitely highly recommend having them. Have them in your survival kit, have them on your watch band. A great asset, especially, most people get in survival situations because they get lost. You should always know where you're going, where you're headed. Anyhow, guys, make sure you stay strapped, stay frosty, and stay dangerous. We'll catch you in the next video. Thanks again, Chimbutu, for supporting the video. Go follow the link, Black Scout Survival, 15% discount. Take care.